I've been in need before, and not being disciplined in those areas have led me to some very disappointing results. In this video, I'm giving you 4 reasons why delaying gratification is essential for your financial success and what you can do about it if this is a challenging area in your life. What's up, everybody? If you're new here, I'm King Prime. Yep, that's my real name. I can be found at IamKingPrime.com. Here at Modern Kings, I help men just like you level up in the areas of fashion, fitness, and finance. I've been in need before, and not being disciplined in those areas have led me to some very disappointing results. I'm talking about cashing out like an old 401k from an employer, taking high interest loans, putting trips on credit cards and saying, I'll just pay for it later, not even knowing where the resources for later would even come from. And if I think back on it, overall, did I have to have those things? No, most of them were wants. They weren't even needs. So I now look at those times and realize that I totally could have suffered a little bit longer or tolerated that, whatever phrase you want to put on it. It was possible for me to not have made unintelligent decisions. And I would be in a better place financially today. Now, here's some areas that I did not make the most intelligent decisions on. That is credit card, cars, and clothes. Now, I've had a few cars in my day, some of them used, some of them new. But I realized that some of my new cars, I was totally not in the place to be buying a new car, nor did I have the whole knowledge of buying a new car, and as soon as you pull off the lot, it's gonna lose its value. And my new cars, they weren't even elaborate. I had like a Dodge Stratus that I bought new. I had a Honda Odyssey that I bought new. You know, you feel justified for these things. Like, I've got a new family. I've got a growing family. I need something dependable. Let me tell you, a used Honda, a used Toyota will get you most places just fine. And I also put rims on these cars, like useless rims that didn't do a dang thing to the car. Didn't make it faster, didn't make it last longer, didn't make it perform better. It was just the cosmetic look that I just had to have. But it was a dumb decision. What made it dumb was I could not afford these things at the time, but I did it anyway. Second area that I had no business involving myself in was trips and vacations. Wealth.com stated that 45% of parents go into debt just to take their kids to Disney World. If you don't have the money, you need to be doing something more like Disney Plus, not Disney World. 2 adults and 2 kids at Disney roughly cost about $7,000 for 1 week of fun. That same $7,000, without adding any more money to it, getting a 10% return is $47,000 over the course of 20 years. Listen, I'm not judging you. I've been there. Getting out of school, having that pressure of it's summer, when are we going on summer vacation, or just wanting to do something nice for your family and for your kids. Everybody else is going, so why can't we go have fun too? Oh, you only live once, or you're not guaranteed tomorrow. Listen, if you've been in any of these situations and you feel what I'm saying, drop a comment below and let me know something that you've done that you're not proud of, that you realize looking back on it, you could have made a better decision. Another area that I have done a terrible job in early in my life was luxury brands. So there's a space that I consider other that I have done a terrible job on earlier in my life, and that is luxury brands. I feel like at certain points, some of you can identify that something comes out that you want, let's say a pair of Jordans, you just gotta have them. You can't go without them. They drop, you want them. So what do? I mean, you probably have at least 4 or 5 other pair of shoes in your closet. These shoes repeat themselves, and you can always buy them used as well. Now, some of you are too proud and too good to have used shoes in your closet, but the question is, do you absolutely have to have these things? And would you be better off buying that stock? Would you be better off paying a bill that's overdue? I learned this quote from Brian Tracy, and he said that you must live like you're gonna die tomorrow, and you also must live like you're gonna live forever. That quote in itself is totally polarizing, right? Because you got 2 ends of the spectrum, but what it's saying is that you have to balance things out. Don't miss the quality moments in life. You may have the quality moments with your kids. You may have the quality moments with your siblings or your parents. But with the right approach, you can budget these things in, and you must prioritize saving and investing to have the approach of, I'm gonna live forever. There's nothing worse than being in your golden years. It's time for you to retire and you don't have the financial resources to relax because you squandered it all in the beginning. So when it comes to buying these other items, like luxury clothing items or other things, instead of being in Saks or Nordstrom, maybe you should be in Target or Walmart. Instead of being in Target or Walmart or Macy's, maybe you should be in a thrift store. Now, I mentioned this before about taking money from your investment account and just shutting it down. I'm not talking about borrowing from your 401k. I'm talking about taking the money from an old account and just saying, I'm desperate, I need it now. There are huge penalties to that. You're going to take, let's say you have $3,000 in that account and you really need that money. You're going to get about 40%, maybe 50% of that money. The rest of it is going to be kept due to penalties and taxes. So what was the point of even investing it from the start? Now, this is the last, but probably the most important area that you really need to delay your gratification on. And that is your need for immediate sexual satisfaction. This does not have an immediate financial impact on you. But if the mood is right and the light hit just right and your sperm travels far enough and she ovulates and you didn't expect that, or maybe even if you did, this is a lifetime of financial impact for you, all as a result of a few minutes of pleasure. Listen, Similac, Enfamil, daycare, all of the clothing, all of the medical expenses add up. They are very expensive. The average cost to raise a child from birth to age 18 is about $300,000 on average. And this is probably not including if you're buying your kid all of the cutest outfits and the brand new outfits instead of buying or introducing used clothes. Here's the thing, the baby doesn't know the difference whether they're wearing brand name or store brand or recycled clothing or any of that. They don't know until they get in school and people start comparing themselves and they want to be cool. Biggest takeaway here is a lot of people have kids too soon in their lives, and it derails their dreams, it derails their goals, it derails their financial success. This is something that I do not want for you. Deferred dreams, sometimes they just never take off. They never get to the place to where they were designed to go. So here's what we can do about it. Delayed gratification can be taught as a child, as an adolescent, or as an adult. And one of the best things that you can do is set goals. They don't have to be gigantic. Set small goals, or you can set big goals. Start journaling and planning. That's a part of that concept of being intentional about your actions. You also want to give yourself positive self-talk. All of these things combined will help to increase your patience. When things go on sale, they always do, that's not always the time to get them just because there's a sale. Shop strategically, and when you need something, be on the hunt. Look for it, be patient, be willing to wait, and get that thing when it goes on sale. One more thing that can help you is accountability. You've got to be open and transparent enough to share this with someone, whether it's your partner, whether it's a close friend, whether it's someone in a professional circuit that you know. The biggest things that has helped me is getting a financial education, which I hugely took on the pursuit of all by myself. I know that I did not want to remain in this cycle. I know that I did not want to remain broke. And I knew that if I could be disciplined in this area of my life, that I could reap the rewards. And those rewards are here. And they get better and better and better. You've got to lean on people smarter than you. Along the journey, I read a lot of books. I listened to a lot of podcasts. And I surround myself with people that were going where I wanted to go. So here's where I am current day. My latest car I did buy brand new. It does have rims on it. It's the car that's on the thumbnail of this video. But here are some things that you should know about my pursuit of that. Prior to purchasing this car, I looked at the interest rates. I have a 2% interest rate on my car loan. Secondly, I did not buy the car until I checked with my accountant and my mortgage lender, because the rule of thumb is always the second house before the second car, even though I have multiple homes. It's just that I want to put my transparent equation out there to my accountant, to my mortgage loan officer, so that someone else can say, oh, you're fine with spending money up to a certain amount. And because they gave me this certain amount does not mean that I went there. I was still conservative in my purchase. The rims that are on my car, I waited 2 years to get those rims. And eventually I purchased those rims at 75% off on a Black Friday sale. So things aren't always what they appear to be. Sometimes things are calculated, intentional, and on purpose. If you enjoyed this video, you're really gonna like this video here where I break down everything that you need to know about wealth accumulation stages. Also, I highly recommend this book, The Millionaire Next Door. It has helped me tremendously. I'm gonna put a link in the description for the hardcover and the audio version. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, look your best, do your best, and be your best.